Hello and welcome to Farmer's Kitchen. Hello, Mrs. Farmer.
Mr. Farmer, how are you?
I'm doing very good.
Good.
You know what? We haven't done a tour of the farm for a long time. And as you look behind us, we kind of are using all our available land for sheep, cattle, so on and so forth. But we're doing our vegetables through a community-supported agriculture.
Which is nice.
What is that? There are folks who grow the stuff for you. They bring it to you, pay them a fee. It's wonderful.
It is nice.
But we do like our fresh tomatoes.
Like my garden this year? That was your idea. I love it.
So we got some just basic boxes, planted them right here. That's south facing. It's later in the day now, so we have our tomatoes right here.
And Boo Boo protects them. Nothing gets them. No birds.
Boo Boo's been protecting them.
Yep, she protects my tomatoes.
And tonight, I think what we'll do, people have asked about the bees. We haven't been up to the cabin in a while. We are separating the adults from the babies.
And they don't like it. They've been crying.
We're weaning the babies, and they've been very vocal, haven't they?
They have been crying. This is the quietest they've been. I don't hear anything.
Because it's hot.
That's true. Uh-oh.
Speak of the devil. So let's take a look around. Look right behind you, Kelly, and what do you see? That is a place where we cook very frequently, but it's been so hot. But it's about time to get back and do some outdoor cooking.
Yeah. You notice I added flowers?
You did add flowers. It's very beautiful. I'll tell you what let's do. Let's take a walk up to the cabin.
Okay. It's all clean.
It's all clean. Let's take a look at the bees, and let's work our way down. Mojo's growing up, and see the unhappy little lambs.
And Holly Girl.
And Holly Girl, yeah. All right, let's go. You can see, take a peek at the bees here. When you see them outside like that, you know what they're doing, Nicki?
What are they doing?
They got their little wings going. They're cooling everything down.
Okay.
They're very busy this time of year, very happy. That's a happy hive.
So that's a good hive.
That's a good hive. People have different philosophies, how often they should break in. I'm kind of letting these guys go.
Okay.
And at some point we'll get honey, but I haven't cracked that hive for a long time, and they seem to be very happy.
Yes, they do.
Happy bees.
And they don't mind us, do they?
They don't. Let's go to the cabin. You know, we've done a lot of shows up here.
We have.
At the old cabin that the boar bees are trying to take it away. But you know, we've had a lot of fun up here. This fall, when it cools down, it's kind of tough to shoot up here indoors because there's no air conditioning.
Right.
So this fall, we're gonna have to do some more shows up here.
And the kids are coming. They love to hang out at the cabin. The grandkids.
They love the loft.
Yes, they do.
All right, let's go to see the babies. Now you've seen us do shows down here. This is our patio area.
Everybody knows we've arrived.
We like to entertain and we like to cook, and they
know we're here.
They know we're here because Mama likes to feed them. You like to spoil them, don't you?
I do spoil them. They're spoiled.
But this is our little area where we like to cook and entertain. Now let's go see our babies. Hey, it's going to be humongous.
Look at his paws.
And this guy right here, he is going to be our breeding ram. Now, these are hair sheep. What's that mean? That means their hair comes off. We do not use them for wool. They shed their hair. That's why they look so ragged right now. Now, Mavis has already lost hers, so she looks pretty good. She looks rough, but Milkweed's shaping up pretty good. And I guess the last thing we got to show is Maybelle and Holly.
Holly Girl, I got treats.
You got treats. They absolutely love them. They've already had some. They're so spoiled.
They are spoiled.
You know what? It is hot out here, so let's go inside and start our recipe. We got some good stuff tonight.
All right.
But a lot of people say they like to see the animals, they like to see the farm, so we took you on a little tour. Now let's go. I got something good for you.
I got a snack for you.
Oh, thank you very much. No thanks. You know what we haven't done in a while?
What?
We haven't grilled anything for a while.
We haven't.
And it's 750 degrees outside.
So it's perfect grilling weather.
So we don't want to get
you.
the kitchen too hot.
Yeah.
We do have to crank the oven up in a minute.
Yeah.
We could do our Brussels sprouts outside, but I want to be up there just long enough for the
Yeah,
meat, and
it's
just
too
I
hot.
want to keep an eye on it, and here
Yeah.
you can really watch it. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, maybe it's time to try some grub you've never tried before.
Yes.
This way that we're doing this, it really brings out the flavor. Oh, it's just
Amazing.
absolutely wonderful. I'm not going to say too much, but it's absolutely wonderful. 'Cause
It is.
It's a surprise. Should we tell them?
I think you should tell them.
Okay, we'll tell them. Now, we've done these before with bacon. We've done them in the oven in the cast iron. It's absolutely
Right.
wonderful. But tonight is a little more of an Asian twist on this. We're also doing some Asian marinade to do the steak. Now, this is a flat iron steak. And when we do this, we usually do a couple. I've got a flank steak in there right now that's been
Right.
marinating for 6 or 7 hours. But let's talk about our marinade for our, now this is a smaller flat iron steak. Again, I've got a 2-pound
Yeah.
flank steak in the refrigerator right now.
Because I'm starving.
Because she's starving.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and take our bag. We're just gonna do this in a bag. We'll just mush it all together. We're gonna take about a tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons, depending on how sweet you want it. I like that salty, sweet
I do too.
comparison. We're gonna do a half a cup of soy sauce. That brown sugar is so wonderful.
It is.
We're gonna take some sesame oil.
That's good stuff too.
Oh, that is. I'm probably about a tablespoon and a half.
I think it was a tablespoon and a half.
And I like my Bangkok peanut sauce in just about everything. Put some of that in there. It's got a little ginger in it. Now we're going to take some red pepper flakes, just a pinch. And we don't want to burn it up,
Okay.
but you want that little bit of heat.
Oh, yeah.
Just that little bit of heat. Now, Mrs. Farmer, if you will, let's take some garlic and just chop it up a little bit, and a little bit of ginger.
You wanted that
Grate
shredded,
some
right?
ginger in there if you don't mind. We always keep fresh ginger around. It is so absolutely delicious.
Oh, it is. All right, 3 garlic cloves.
Yep.
I didn't cut them up just a little enough to break them down.
Oh
Right?
yeah, and you gotta have that garlic.
And how much ginger do you think this is?
That's probably a good teaspoon. And one more thing, a little bit of white wine. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna mush it all up, make sure it's all together. And we're gonna take this, now we can put a little salt on this, but the soy is probably gonna cover that. Now, when you're cooking it, you could actually put a little salt and pepper on that. And this is just enough for a couple people tomorrow.
For me.
Now, yeah, exactly. We could eat that.
I know
Now
we could.
we're gonna leave this whole. Now, when you serve it, after we cook it, and you don't wanna cook it to death because it's, it's a little bit of a tough cut of meat.
Yeah.
You don't wanna cook it till it's shoe leather. Just either side about 5 minutes on a pretty warm
Yeah.
surface. And then you wanna cut it against the grain. Make sure you cut it against the grain. We're gonna pop that in the fridge.
Alrighty.
We're about to go grilling. So now we got to think about our meal coming together all at the same
Oh, yeah.
time. Now we're gonna have some white rice with that. That's the easiest part of the meal.
I'll make that.
Exactly. We're going to preheat the oven to 400.
Okay.
Now what we're gonna do, and you've seen us do this before, we're gonna take our Brussels sprouts that I've cut in half, and then we're just gonna lightly, evenly cover those with olive oil.
Okay.
We want to make sure that they're evenly. Yeah, I don't want to do it on the pan and have olive oil everywhere.
Yeah.
We could even put them in a plastic bag. That may be the more even way to do it, and get just a little bit of olive oil on the outside of this. We can do a little salt and pepper too. Once we get those evenly covered, we're going to set them on the pan. We're going to put them in the oven at 400 degrees. Now you can do it a little hotter, but you got to keep your eye on them. You want them to have that crusty,
Yeah.
kind of dark
yummy.
brown exterior. Then later we're going to come finish those up with a little sauce at the end.
Yes.
Which is absolutely wonderful. So let's get our oven preheated. Let's go get the grill hot. We're about to get going here. All right, Mrs. Farmer,
Put them in the oven?
let's pop those in. Now you're going to want to watch these. Usually it takes about a half hour. And if they're not getting quite dark enough, crank it up just a bit, but keep your eye on them. Don't want to burn them.
All right.
All right. All right.
Oh, that smells.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Now, we're going to pull this guy out. Now, this is obviously a larger piece of meat than what we had earlier. But again,
Ooh, I'm starving too. It's perfect.
can you smell that?
I can.
Now, again, the grain runs as such. So now, this piece of meat weighs about 2 pounds. Can you smell that?
I can, it smells good already.
All right, let's go to the grill. So what we're gonna do is put it on a hot grill.
Okay.
We're gonna put it on, probably 3 or 4 minutes. We're gonna turn it over, probably 2 or 3 minutes. Back and forth, total tops is 10 minutes.
Okay.
Wanna make sure that we have just a little bit of red on the interior. All right, now we're gonna finish these Brussels. We've already put, what, 2 tablespoons of soy in there. And we're gonna put some honey. It's equal parts. You get the sweet, and you get the sour, and you get the bite.
Yum.
We'll also put some red pepper flakes. See, it's not too different from the marinade that we did. We're gonna put just a little bit of smoked paprika in it. It really adds something. It's hard to define, but it's really good. I know that sounds strange, but wow. Let's turn that on. Just warm that up. Okay, so we got 2 tablespoons of soy, 2 tablespoons of honey, a little smoked paprika,
Tastes good, I
and
tasted
some red
it.
pepper flakes. Yeah, it does.
It's good.
Okay, look. Ooh. Whoa. That's why you got to keep an eye on it. Oh, looky.
Oh, wow.
Looky. Listen to the sizzle. Listen. Now that that's warmed up,
I think you got it good.
we're just going to take these and we're going to put in there. Okay, you can see that we've got just a little bit of char on there. Oh, can you hear that?
They already smell good too. There you go.
Now we're going to take our sauce, Mrs. Farmer, if you will.
Stir that up.
Just going to stir that up.
Good?
Yep. And we'll set that aside. And Mrs. Farmer, if you hold this, let's see if we got this right.
Oh, wow.
10 minutes.
Should I try a piece, make sure?
So what we're gonna do is cut some little thin slices. Let's let this cool down for just a minute.
I like
We've been stuck in the house. Everybody's been stuck in the house.
Right.
I feel like a mushroom in a cave.
Do you?
You know, speaking of mushrooms, we found somebody recently, right down the road, who raises wonderful mushrooms in their own environment. Let's take a look at that. Then we'll come back and taste this wonderful food. We're in Upton, Kentucky today. And this is Andrew Barnes with Prayer Mountain Mushrooms. How did they get that name?
We wanted a name that really spoke to the power and majesty of the mushroom. It fits.
The kind of mushrooms you grow here do not make you take trips to other planets.
Correct.
These are the kinds that are just absolutely delicious. Probably my favorite are the shiitake and oyster, which is sitting right over there.
Yeah.
Now you told me today when I came here that you're gonna send me home with some. That's the terrible part of this job. Sometimes I just have to take home stuff.
Oh, poor Tim.
But I'll probably put it to good use. We'll probably put it in a recipe on our show.
Wonderful.
Let's get to the good part here. You do all this yourself. You have a building over there where you grow these massive quantities of mushrooms. How did all this get started?
It's been quite a journey. My wife and I have grown mushrooms as a hobby for many years, and then she went to the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife's Becoming Outdoor Women program.
It's a good outfit.
Yeah, and learned about cultivating gourmet mushrooms for profit. Came home and pitched me this wild idea of, how would you like to start a mushroom farm? I said, well, that's something we could probably do. And so we set out basically trying to figure out why we shouldn't do that. And we couldn't. And in the process, we wrote a business plan and got funding, and here we are.
Now let's back up a little bit on the mushroom itself. All right, I love mushrooms. I could eat them in just about it. We put them in chili. We put them in almost everything. What's the nutritional value of a mushroom? What's important in it that we need?
Well, what's most important with a mushroom and what makes it really powerful food item is that these guys have protein, they've got vitamin D, one of the few non-animal sources, and they are chock full of really great compounds that are healthful. You'll find compounds that help with cholesterol. On a gourmet level, they contain glutamate, which stimulates parts of your tongue that you're not normally used to, but you have receptors for. And so that's where you get that savory flavor. Some people call it the umami flavor. And it's a really powerful food.
All right, you're around them all the time, and I know you have to eat them. What's your favorite way? If you're eating just eating a mushroom, how would you eat it? Let's say shiitake.
Yeah, you know what? we put them in everything. People always ask us for recipes, and I say, whatever you normally cook, chop them up and add them. And it's super easy. Steak is one of my favorites. Chop them up, saute them in a pan, and put them on top of your steak.
Now, you have several different things that you, obviously, these are fungus. They grow in their natural state. How would you find these? If you were looking for shiitake mushrooms in their extremely wonderful habitat that they like, how would you find that?
Yeah, you would go to Japan.
That's a long trip.
You know, assuming that you could find them locally, they would be growing on trees, hardwood trees, lots of shade, lots of moisture. So spring, fall, you might find them then. You know, farmers love to grow them on logs, and so, you know, you may find some just wandering about.
Here, you have your environment over here that you've created with a greenhouse in effect, and you have these multiple packets. Explain how you put those together to get your final product.
So we start with hardwood sawdust and nutrient and water. We mix them all together, and we have a machine that puts it into little bags. So those bags we prepare for inoculation by using an autoclave, and we run hundreds through at a time. And when we're done, we have these really great, nice, clean bags of substrate. It's basically sawdust. And from there, we're gonna put about a thimbleful of live fungal organism in there, seal it up, and then let it sit. And so for oyster mushrooms, you're gonna let it sit for 6 weeks. For shiitake, you'll let it sit for 6 months.
6 months. Wow. All right, now I've got a question for you. I'm seeing these, I guess these are getting close to being harvested.
That's right.
Now, in the spring, when I collect morel mushrooms, man, they grow so rapidly. I wonder about this little nubby guy right here. Where will he be tomorrow and the next day? How fast do they grow?
So these guys are actually going to double in size about every 24 hours.
Wow.
Now it slows down as they approach their maximum size, but until they get there, it's boom, and then they just slow down, and then you pick them. The cap here actually curls outward as it ripens. And so it approaches an edge. So you can see these guys, I left, they would have been ready this morning, but I left them to show you here that as that edge curls out, that's how you can tell, really.
So they let you know by the physical characteristics what's going on when they need to be harvested.
Exactly.
So this guy tomorrow is going to be about that size.
Exactly. And then that guy will be one of these, and these guys tomorrow will be one of those.
So when these are harvested, you take them from the very base of the stalk.
That's right. So we come right in here and very gingerly remove it, and there it is. So
The whole shebang right there. Now, do you eat the stalks on these?
well, no, we don't eat them. You can save them and actually boil them into stock, which is delicious. Mushroom stock is fantastic.
Now, once this growth has taken place, is this little block done, or will it send more out later?
That block is going to keep going, and as long as you keep it hydrated, it can last for 3 to 4, maybe 5 months.
Oh, wow.
And it's important to note that when we harvest these, they have come out of a bag of clean sawdust, and they have never seen dirt. So these don't even have to be cleaned. You can just chop them, eat them right as we harvest them. So we're going to harvest, and we're going to take them to farmers markets. We're going to take them to your favorite restaurants, and get them out there as much as we can to grocers as well. You know, it is something that folks that want to get into growing mushrooms, there's a lot of resources, and it is so much fun. It is tremendously enriching to watch something grow, and especially when you can do it up close and personal like that. So for people interested, University of Kentucky has a great resource on how to convert some of your logs at home and do it in your backyard.
I think I'd rather just let you do it and buy them from you.
Well, you know, we are here for we're here for you.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a walk and a look around. And I thank you so much for taking your time out for it. This is a cool place, and you're doing great things.
Thank you, sir. We really appreciate you guys coming out.
I can't hardly touch that plate. It looks too perfect.
It is pretty.
Here, let's make it a little more perfect. Ooh,
That looks good.
All right, try the Brussels mushroom farmer. See what you think.
Can't wait. Oh, wow.
Tastes familiar?
That's so good.
Now, let's pull this aside. I'm going to show you this. Now, this is considered a fairly tough piece of steak. Less than 10 minutes, about 9.5 minutes. Watch this.
With a fork.
With a fork.
Wow.
Look, that's no fluke. Boom. Got one was farmer.
Oh, no, I need it. Okay, now there's one onion for you and one for me. Now, my grandma, Solomon, she would eat it. You said your grandmas did too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
kept the bugs
I
away.
don't have any problem eating it. You know, when we had kids, I used to love to let them try things
Yeah.
just to get a reaction.
Watch their face.
And it was funny, because Rebecca, I would hand her something, I think she's going to hate this.
Yeah.
So I gave her a green onion one time, and she ate it, and then says,
Loved it.
where's the next one? Gave her a lemon one time, she did a little bit of this, and then she ate the
She liked it. Well, these keep mosquitoes away, my grandma said, so they would eat this and garlic.
Absolutely.
But I'll save mine for later. How about you?
I will too. Dessert. There it is.
Delicious.
Quick and easy, nothing to it. Marinade, it's worth the 6 or 7 hour
yeah,
wait.
yes.
You can let it go longer if you want to, but look at that. To me, that's just a perfect little meal.
Oh, yeah.
Cheap, inexpensive, delicious. Got some friends coming over.
That's sweet but salty, like candy.
Absolutely.
I like it.
And if you like these recipes, Ms. Farmer, where would you go to find them?
I go to timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
And we would like you to be our Facebook page. We're getting a whole lot of folks over there. We really enjoy talking back and forth with them. Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Facebook page. It's extremely hard to get on there. What do you have to do?
You hit like.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's it. That being said, a half an hour, Mrs. Farmer has flown by, so I
Can't
guess
wait.
we're going to have to
Have
say
dinner?
goodbye and eat all this right in front of Kelly.
Okay.
We might give her a little bite.
Should we let her have one?
One bite.
Okay.
All right. So, that being said, it's all about
Good times.
good friends.
Really good eats again. Thank you so much.
And we'll see you next week on a brand new Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.
To order a cookbook, email timfarmerck@gmail.com.